Welcome everyone to Silver Linings, supporting Morrison Child and Family Services and the incredible work they do helping children and their families thrive. Stay tuned to learn more about 3 of Morrison's impactful programs.
SAGE is a program that specifically works with youth who are survivors of commercial sexual exploitation. They live with us 24/7, and we provide all the services they need all in-house while they're with us.
My name is Paige Wayton, and I am a mental health therapist here at the SAGE program. I would say people ask, what does treatment even at SAGE look like? We have individual therapy, we have group therapy, we have skills training, we offer drug and alcohol counseling, and then we also offer milieu therapy, which is where they are practicing these skills in kind of a mini world, so that when they go back out to their community and back out to the world, they have a really solid skill set.
I'm Allison Jacoby Freeze. I'm the Assistant Program Director at SAGE. I'm usually asked, where are these kids coming from? There's a misperception, I think, that a lot of these youth are coming from other countries, when the reality is they are all born and raised in Oregon. We work with kids who come from your neighborhoods and families who are looking for some help, not just DHS.
I think that people really underestimate just the reality of the amount of children that are being sexually exploited in not only our country, but in our community. It's something that is really common in Portland. It really is a program that is necessary because there's a really, really big need for it that people just don't understand.
My name is Kelly Nay, and I'm a milieu supervisor at SAGE. How are clients brought into SAGE? Are they rescued? I appreciate that question because I can talk about the bigger things in the world that might lead to somebody being exploited. There are so many different things that can cause vulnerabilities for somebody with more power to exploit. There's poverty, there's racism, there's homelessness, there's social media and its impact on self-esteem. Somebody with more power can take advantage of that, which then leaves somebody in these kids' lives wants them to be in a more stable, safe environment and refers them to SAGE.
Are these kids signing up for this? Are they looking for help? And the answer is no, not initially, but it's amazing to see how that perspective changes over the time they're at SAGE. By the end of the time at SAGE, often they are speaking really openly about their experiences. They are encouraging their peers to share. And sometimes even when they leave, they call us and tell us about a job interview they had, or here's a time where one of their friends was trying to get them into a situation they didn't want to. And they thought we'd be really proud of them for how they handled it.
So I would say the most rewarding part about working at SAGE is being able to witness the growth that happens with the girls. They are so resilient and just so amazing and are able to get through so many hard things. And they come and they do the work. They sit down, they do the hard stuff. It gets messy, but they're able to come through it. And they're also able to come through with so much just love and compassion for themselves and also other people.
Frequently when I tell people about the work that I do, they want to know, oh gosh, how can you do that? It sounds so difficult. And sometimes there are tough days, but these kids are some of the funniest, smartest kids I've ever met in my life. Even though they have been through these really challenging things, they are what make it worth it.
I get to see the magic of resiliency every day in so many different ways. I think it's really cool to do this work day in, day out, and then one day you just see this huge change for a kid, whether that's the way they're communicating with you or coming to group and sharing some raw emotion. And all of these things are just pure examples of resiliency, and to have some small part of that is really, really rewarding.
Be sure to stay tuned for our opening video highlighting the heartfelt reasons why Morrison staff and community are so passionate about the work they do. See you real soon.
Infant and early childhood mental health consultation is a prevention-based service. All of our services are provided in the community, in Head Start, in child care settings, home child care, and home visiting programs. I'm Sarah Heel, and I'm the program director for Morrison's Infant and Early Childhood program. We talk about 3 levels of consultation within the services that we offer. The first being the child or family specific level of consultation. So we might be supporting a child in the classroom, supporting a teacher with how to best support the child in the classroom. We might be working with parents on how to support those positive behaviors at home. Another level is the classroom or home setting level of consultation. Classroom level being supporting the teachers with capacity building and how to best build social and emotional skills for children in the classroom. So thinking about small group activities and large group activities, how do we really focus on social and emotional wellness, which is mental health? The third level being the system level or program level consultation. And as a program, that's an area that we've really grown, I think, in the past 5 years, and the importance of supporting the programs with how to best support their staff so their staff can support the families and the children. How is mental health consultation different from therapy? Consultation is a prevention-based service rather than a treatment or intervention-based service. Our main goal is really to support the adult's capacity to then strengthen and support the social and emotional well-being of children, with the end goal being providing that support before intervention is needed later. Definitely the most rewarding part about our program and knowing how many children and families that we reach through our services. On average, our infant and early childhood mental health consultation program specifically, through our indirect prevention-based services, serves about 2,000 children annually, and many children and families we're reaching is super rewarding.
Hi there, my name is Katie Sass. I am the program manager for the Infant and Early Childhood Mental Health Consultation Program at Morrison. Our program has a 15+ year history in our community here in the greater Portland area. We've served many children and families in their child care centers, in their homes, you name it. Anybody who helps take care of kids, we can try to support them to do that. The Infant Early Childhood Mental Health Consultant team pairs a mental health consultant, which is the Morrison employee, with families and adults who work with infants and toddlers and young children in different settings. So it could be in a child care, a preschool, their home, anywhere where they're learning and growing. Our primary aim is to build the capacity of the adults in the child's life already. So to strengthen those relationships with parents, strengthen their relationships with teachers, so that then they have a positive relationship base to grow and learn from. A mental health consultant is a person that comes in and learns the family and the culture and the setting that the child is in, and then helps the caregivers support that child in being able to function in that environment, like emotion regulation, so anger management, friendship skills just interacting with adults, following directions. All of those sort of cluster into that social emotional framework that we really focus on trying to help the adults support the child in doing that themselves. Mental health consultants in our program are licensed. It's a therapist doing the work, but this person's not doing therapy. We have this extended knowledge around how children develop and grow in their social emotional world. And so then we come to share that information with families and caregiving sites in order to prevent problems from becoming problems. The techniques that we use are classroom supports. So that includes child-specific observations and supports for teachers, and that extend to the family for families also interested in getting some individualized support for their child. Then also we offer parenting education curriculum, Incredible Years and Balancing Lessons. And those are tools to support families. So it's very much about, we know some about mental health, they're the experts on their child, and so then we come together to try to help figure out a good plan for each child's individual needs.
What I really love about my job is that I get to go to work every day surrounded by people who have completely changed their lives and really prove that change is possible for anyone. Hi, I'm Linda May Wacker. I'm the program director for the Parent Mentor program at Morrison. Parent mentors are people who have lived experience of addiction and child welfare systems involvement, and who have at least 2 years or more in recovery from substance use disorder and really want to use that lived experience to help give back to families currently involved in the system.
My name is Dustin McLeod, and I am a father in long-term recovery. I am grateful and honored to be able to be a senior parent mentor. Overall, we are able to provide hope, inspiration, connect parents to local resources, and probably most importantly, we get to model by our own life in recovery that change is possible.
Hi, my name is Patricia Manzanares, and I am a SPURF mentor. I am a parent that has been in those shoes before. I have had a DHS case and have overcame my case, and so I help and support other parents going through their DHS case, and I'm here to help and support them with anything they need help and support with.
I'm Amber. I'm a parent mentor, and I've been with Morrison for almost 3 years. I'm also a person in long-term recovery, and my clean date is October 16, 2015. I would describe the Parent Mentor program as a place where everyone is welcome. We all belong despite our differences, despite our backgrounds, despite our different paths to recovery.
So a lot of what parent mentors do is really provide recovery support to parents who are sort of on their journey from addiction to recovery. They are just amazing role models, right? Like they role model that change is possible and recovery in parenting is possible.
What is the Parent Anonymous Support Group? The Parent Anonymous Support Group are the foundation of the Parent Mentor program.
Parents Anonymous is a national model of parent support groups that is evidence-based. And what I love about Parents Anonymous support groups is that it's really another way of providing peer support. We're really intentional about trying to provide a recovery-oriented workplace where people get to bring their whole selves to work, and their identity as a person in recovery is really valued, and their lived experience is valued.
I was lucky enough to be able to have a parent mentor myself, and my parent mentor showed me and taught me, not by his words, but by his actions, that I could be both a person, a father in recovery, and a good dad at the same time. A dad that today gets to tuck my kids in at night, and the question that my kids ask me before they go to bed is, how many people did you help today? And I get to tell them, lots, I love you, and I'll see you in the morning.
A lot of the work that parent mentors do is not only helping to support parents. A lot of the work that mentors do in our community is helping to educate child welfare staff about addiction and recovery and what really recovery can look like. A lot of this work they do at various levels of child welfare leadership. So really helping to share the parent voice and the experiences of parents currently involved in the system to help child welfare leadership understand where the system needs to do better.
The most rewarding part about being a parent mentor is the fact that we get to walk alongside people that have similar lived experience. As we have already overcome that, we are able to kind of be side by side with these parents that are going through similar life experiences and be able to help guide them through kind of the most difficult time of their life. And it's very challenging, but yet rewarding at the same time.
I would say the most rewarding is being able to help parents get their kids back and to show that encouragement that they can do it too. I had one parent that I worked with her for a year. She was in treatment. She gave me a card and it had a picture of her and her family on it. It said, "Thank you for never giving up on me and for always being there to help me and support me." You know, we all make mistakes, but we don't let that hold us down.
Morrison has inspired me since I was a little kid. My name is David Thompson, and I am the chair of Morrison Child and Family Services Foundation Board. My father was a psychologist at Morrison from the early 80s, and my mom helped start many of the early childhood programs at Morrison. Growing up, I got to see the tremendous work that they do. And so when it was my turn as a young adult to start serving the community, there was no organization that I could think of that I wanted to invest my time in more than Morrison Child and Family Services.
I'm Amber. I'm a parent mentor, and I've been with Morrison for almost 3 years. I'm also a person in long-term recovery, and my clean date is October 16, 2015. I'm inspired to be with Morrison because there is a job that is for a person that has gone through adversity, has trauma, and a place where I'm welcomed despite all of the adversity that I face. And I'm able to work with parents that are going through similar situations, and because it's something that is so meaningful and so impactful. And just by working with one family, you can change their life.
My name is Paige Wayton, and I am a mental health therapist at the SAGE program. What inspires me to do this work is the growth and the resiliency that I'm able to witness with our clients.
I am Mark Flovinci. I am an investment advisor and wealth manager with Ferguson Wellman Capital Management. I serve on the board of directors of Morrison. I find the mission of Morrison very compelling. They work with kids and families who are dealing with very difficult mental health and substance use issues. In fact, I think if Morrison weren't there, I don't know where these kids would turn. Morrison truly wants these kids to thrive and reach their full potential.
My name is Margaret Scott. I am a division director at Morrison, and I oversee all of our outpatient mental health programs as well as our SAGE residential program. I'm inspired to do the work at Morrison because I really want to make sure that all of our clients and their families have a positive experience in therapy. And it's really important to me that the clients that we serve, their takeaway is that they feel supported and they feel listened to, and they feel like we are collaborating with them to provide the best treatment we can and help them meet their goals.
My name is Lucrecia Farias, Program Manager for the Listos para Aprender program. Hearing about those wonderful moments when parents realize just how capable their little one is, how important they are in their child's academic life.
My name is Dustin McClard, and I am a father in long-term recovery. I am grateful and honored to be able to be a senior parent mentor in the Parents Anonymous program, to be able to help dads find their path to recovery or to reunification of their family. And I do that with Morrison because they're the organization, the family that helped me get my family back together. I'm proud to work for Morrison.
What a lovely way to begin today's program. Thank you, Morrison staff and community, for your passion and commitment to the work. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Silver Linings. I'm Misty Markham with Markham Auction Agency, and I'm honored to be here with you today as your host. This past year has been hard on so many people, including children and families in our community. And this is why we're so grateful you've joined us to support Morrison's innovative and wide-reaching programs. We're here for one reason: to celebrate Morrison and all they've done to ensure children are provided with services they need to survive and thrive. Let's take a look now at the ways Morrison has continued to deliver on their mission during the pandemic.
My name is Lucrecia Farias. I'm Program Manager for Listos para Aprender, an early childhood home visiting program that provides services to Latino families and bring educational activities and information to families. We had to reimagine our services. The connection we have with families is so important. Luckily, the curriculum that we use provided us with lots of support. And within about 2-3 weeks, we were ready to start home visiting services by telephone or virtually. We've learned that our families miss that social interaction with the community and with us. So we're definitely going to continue the virtual groups in the future.
I'm Allison Jacoby Fries. I'm the Assistant Program Director at SAGE. It's a youth residential program for survivors of commercial sexual exploitation. One of the biggest hurdles that we have faced is people being worried about the unknown of COVID, and people have been really amazing. I think every person that I've talked to who's had that worry has shared, I can manage all of those risks because these kids need someone at the end of the day. Like, someone has got to show up here for them, and I want to be a person who does that.
My name is Kelly Nay, and I'm a milieu supervisor at SAGE. I think another barrier is the impact of trauma causes hypervigilance and needing to assess everything that's going on around you, and some of that is being able to read accessible spaces, and that's really hard to do with masks. The way that we've been able to address that is just really focus on building relationships in the best way possible with these kids. That relationship building is so important in tough times like this.
Hi, my name is Alejandro Martinez. I'm the Division Director for Morrison's ORR programs. Our programs work with unaccompanied refugee minors coming into the United States for the first time. COVID has brought lots of hurdles and challenges to our program, especially as a residential program. We've done it though. We've really come forward and looked at how we staff our buildings, how we maintain social distancing while we're at the workplace. We've really had to be a lot more creative, and I think we're really hitting our stride of how to really provide services for kids.
My name is Sam Stanich. I currently work at Counterpoint Day Treatment. We work with adolescent males. They come to us and go to school as well as do groups and individual therapy. They then go home to our proctor parents. I'm impressed with how flexible not only staff have been, but also the youth. We've had to deal with a lot more anxieties and fears, which impacts, not only them in the proctor home, but their mental health. And a lot of the guys have experienced some significant trauma. And so being able to also go through this with support, I think it's going to be helpful for them to know in the future that they can get through trying times and that they do have support and that they don't have to ever do anything alone.
What a remarkable organization. We feel immense gratitude for the work Morrison staff has done and continues to do during the pandemic. Joining us now, CEO Drew Henry McWilliams speaks more on how Morrison partners with the community to adapt, sustain, and expand resources for families.
My name is Drew Henry McWilliams, and I'm the CEO for Morrison Child and Family Services. Thank you for joining our 8th annual Silver Linings Luncheon and our first virtual community event to share our story of helping kids and families while raising money for them. As you just heard, 12 months ago now, our staff quickly and skillfully switched gears to provide services that were both physically distant but socially engaged, and providing services wherever and whenever it worked out best for our clients. Morrison started its journey 74 years ago by several committed community members led by Dr. Carl Morrison. Over 200 kids were served that first year. Today, we serve around 8,000 kids and families a year. We have much to celebrate that we do every single day. Therefore, much to be proud of, as I am proud of our dedicated and talented staff. And we have much more to do. We will continue to empower kids and families to bravely move beyond the stigmas still associated with mental health and substance use difficulties to provide the assistance they need and deserve. I am grateful for the kids and families who entrust us to be of service to them day in and day out, to our many partner and funding organizations, to our volunteer board of directors, and especially to our staff and you who contribute to us. Help us to continue helping others. And now, it's my delight to introduce the program that brought me to Morrison 23 years ago, our very large and extensive outpatient services, who provide services in our clinics, area schools, and throughout the community wherever clients and families need us.
Thank you, Drew. This organization is truly meeting the needs of so many in our community. Morrison provides foster care, prevention and education, critical intensive therapy, mental health, substance abuse treatment, and emotional support to thousands of children and their families in our community. And although the pandemic has made it challenging, Morrison made the necessary shift to telehealth programming wherever possible to ensure they overcome these unprecedented challenges and to continue to deliver on their mission. Let's hear a bit more.
This transition that happened with the pandemic, that kind of happened slowly and all at once. I don't think any of us expected to still be doing this a year later. And initially, I think we were all really concerned of just how do we continue to support and connect with our families in this brand new way that we've never done before.
So even a family with good skill sets and good communication, they're at their limit. And families who possibly would never have sought services are now in need of services.
When we started this adjustment to telehealth, one of the main things that I observed was the increased need of services.
I've been working with some kids who have made so much progress over the last 2 years, and we're now in our 3rd year, and they're becoming nonverbal. They're becoming escalated all the time. It's like watching all that progress just go backwards.
Kids getting to interact with their peers or going to school, having that consistency has shifted and has been really challenging for them.
It was better to keep going and adjust as therapists and as clinicians than our clients getting nothing from us.
When you're working with a child who's in their home environment, which may or may not be a safe environment, you have to make a lot of different decisions. Sometimes all a session is at this point is just trying to help a kid regulate their nervous system. And so it's really been about adapting to the families.
Notice how your body is feeling.
I think some of the new things that I've had to learn or try is, one, how to be much more exciting. You know, it's one thing when you're in the same room with a kid, you can play interactively with them, but to be kind of on the screen and distanced, you have to be a lot more animated, a lot more engaging and exciting. The other part of telehealth that has been an exciting change is getting really to enter into kids' worlds. So we get to see what their home environment looks like, how they act, what they like, what they do in their space, in their world.
I have one teenager who brings her cat into her bedroom. When she's processing through a past experience and she's petting her cat, I can watch her, she'll calm herself.
Hola, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Sometimes I don't need to be there, but the puppet is. With younger kids, it's been a huge success.
One group that I've seen a huge amount of success with telehealth is my families who are engaging in PCIT, which is parent-child interaction therapy. So being able to do that in their actual home environment has been so helpful.
I've been working with a client who has had significant suicidal ideation and multiple hospitalizations. And because we're in this window where she's at home and she feels safe, we've been building skills. Recently, in the last month, she's decided to challenge herself to move beyond the goals that I was supporting her to set, and that has been really wonderful to see.
I think I've been really impressed with my clients' tenacity and resiliency. The fact that they were able to consistently meet their appointments despite all of the chaos that is happening in our world right now, I think is a huge testament to the investment that clients have in this process.
One of the most important things about moving into telehealth is that families who may not be able to have services, like they may not have enough gas to drive to the clinic, these families are able to engage in services now because of telehealth.
I really believe that for some people, this experience of, just taking a step out of the house to go to a therapist can be really hard.
I think the wonderful thing about having this experience with telehealth is it gives us another tool and resource to use to support families where they're at. Now we have another way to offer support and resources to families that we didn't before.
Nice to see you today, and I will see you in 1 week.
Every child deserves a chance at the best quality of life possible. And now is your opportunity to give in support of this work. Give to put mental health and emotional needs of children first. Your donation right now provides the support necessary for children to thrive, to find happiness, to live a hopeful life. And to donate, we've made it easy. You have 2 options. 1, use your phone and text the letters Morrison, Morrison, to the numbers 44321, or click the donation button. Feel free to give at any dollar amount meaningful to you and as many times as you wish. Let's hear from Patricia Weekly, our Director of Equity, Inclusion, and Sanctuary, along with several other staff on how Morrison continually works to assess programming through a lens of equity.
As we come in to do our phenomenal task of support and treatment, how do we do that with a truly focused equity lens?
Hi, my name is Caroline Falcone Goldstone, and I'm an infant and early childhood mental health consultant, as well as a member of the EAC. I took this journey because I really had a desire to do more, but I was not engaging in much reflection on my own racist behaviors and patterns. But because of the respectful, predictable accountability held by the EAC, my self-awareness about my own racism has significantly increased, as well as my ability to engage in anti-racist practices.
Hi, my name is Sean Buchanan. I'm the Business Operations Manager for the ORR programs, and last year I became one of the race equity advocates. I began this journey from a place of saviorism and fragility. I wanted to help people, but I wanted to help people on my terms. Growing up as a gay man in Kansas, I experienced very minor oppressions. I thought that I experienced similar oppressions to people of color, but through the learning experience and the journey, I've learned how dangerous that ideology or those thought processes are. You know, as a white gay man, I'm still able to walk around the world and hide my own self if I need to, if I do feel unsafe, as opposed to people of color who don't have that ability.
Hi, my name is Maddie Rule. I work in program evaluation at Morrison. I've been working at Morrison since 2017, and I've been in the EAC since 2018. And I think that white workers who interface with the types of systems that Morrison encounters every single day, we have a responsibility to reflect on what brings us to this work in the social services and what our real work is.
I have a lot that feeds me in this journey. It's the learning experiences, my colleagues, and I think the opportunity for impactful change in the lives of our clients and my colleagues.
I am inspired every time I am on a call with the EAC. That group really is supportive. It leads with love, it leads with grace, and it leads with commitment. And also seeing people's willingness to engage in self-reflection.
For me, it's about struggling together as we navigate the nuances of this work in community, in groups, even as a larger community, as Morrison, as Portland.
I'm Patricia Weekly, and I am the Director of Equity, Inclusion, and Sanctuary at Morrison. I feel that we are on the right path to really enhance and I think liberate the desire that I believe is in all of our Morrison team around being a truly anti-racist organization.
But I'm really looking forward to the next few years, the continued growth and my continued learning experience.
I think it's really important for us to approach this with big enough hearts and strong enough guts to be able to examine ourselves and the systems that we operate within and listen, truly listen.
Very important work. Thank you, Morrison Equity Advisory Council team. Great jobs. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the Goldman Award Special Honoree, the Rotary Club of Portland, for their incredible support of Morrison.
It is my distinct pleasure to highlight our Muriel Goldman Award. Muriel was an extraordinary child advocate for children in Oregon and a huge believer in Morrison and what we provide, especially when we work with community partners. This year, the Rotary Club of Portland is receiving the Goldman Award, for their 3-year fundraising campaign that has resulted in the building of our Rotary Youth Center at Morrison.
I'm Ruth Shelley, president of the Rotary Club of Portland. We are so honored and grateful to receive the Goldman Award. Thank you. As Rotarians, we have 4 questions that we ask before we undertake any project. The Rotary Youth Center at Morrison passed the 4-way test with flying colors. Is it the truth? Indeed, it is the truth that children and youth in our community do not all have the same opportunities, and many face significant challenges that Morrison seeks to address. Is it fair to all concerned? Well, it's not fair that resources for our children are so inequitably distributed. It is fair that we as Rotarians try to address those inequities by providing solutions like the Rotary Youth Center. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Oh my, yes. When I toured the youth center before it opened, I could just imagine the lively sounds of children and youth using it, making friends and strengthening relationships with the adults who care for them. Will it be beneficial to all concerned? The Rotary Youth Center at Morrison will benefit our community and its children for years to come, as the project has benefited our club to be part of it.
We are just so pleased to be the recipient of this award. We're one of the original 15 Rotary clubs in the world, and we've been in existence 110 years. Our club is a service club, and we have a long club history of providing community-changing projects to the Portland community. We are so pleased to be involved in this project, and this project was our 110-year anniversary.
As all of us have acknowledged, we are incredibly honored to receive this award. We entered into this project with a couple ideas. One, we wanted to support the community in a manner that made a significant difference. 2, we wanted to engage with a lot of new younger Rotarians and give them leadership opportunities. We polled the membership to see what areas of service they were most interested in, the issue of homelessness or houselessness here in Oregon, as well as a distinct desire to do something that impacted youth. Morrison became what we felt the perfect partner. And by the way, they came through even better than we even anticipated in their support of this project. But the other reason was the program that we would be serving with the building serves youth in the foster care system. And because we understand that youth in foster care often end up homeless themselves, we wanted to take a proactive approach to homelessness by helping youth now before that becomes a part of their lives. And we felt that Morrison was the perfect partner. Thank you so much to Morrison for being a great partner. We're honored, and we feel like we've made a fantastic investment in this community.
What outstanding commitment. Thank you. Thank you so much to the Rotary Club of Portland for working to make our community the great place that it is. And now, before we say goodbye, please help us thank all of our amazing sponsors who make Morrison's work possible. Here to help is Morrison Board Chair Chris Edmonds.
I think 2021 is the year of gratitude. I'm Chris Edmonds, chair of the Morrison Board of Directors, and we just appreciate our sponsors. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who stepped up in this year. You've been there for us before, you were there for us this year, you'll be there for us in the future, and we're grateful for that. For an organization like Morrison, there's nothing more important than having really solid partners in our community who are underwriting the important work that we're doing here. There are a range of generous donations and matching contributions from members of Morrison's Board of Directors. I want to thank my friends and colleagues on the board for their generosity today. I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge all of our generous contributors who have decided to support Morrison today. Whether it was your first time or your 50th time supporting Morrison, thank you. We appreciate you, and we're grateful for you. Let's take a minute to recognize our investor sponsors: Boeing, the Harold and Arlene Schnitzer Care Foundation and Jordan Schnitzer, Durham and Bates, Pacific Office Automation, Legacy Health, the Zidell Companies, and Tube Forgings of America Incorporated. Our partners are Columbia Bank, Ferguson Wellman Capital Management, and Care Oregon. And of course, thank you to the Davidson Family Foundation for the generous $10,000 matching contribution. I think it's important, speaking for the entire board of directors and the whole organization, to our generous sponsors, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You really make what we do here possible. Morrison is an organization focused on serving people. And the only way that you can serve people is with people. And if we didn't have good people, we wouldn't be able to provide good service to the folks in our community who really need it. For that reason, I'm grateful that Morrison has fantastic people. Our staff, some of whom have been with this organization for years and decades, are just some of the most talented professionals that you'll find anywhere in this city. We're grateful for them. We are so glad that they're here. So thank you to our staff. You are the absolute most important thing we have going for us at this organization. Thank you for making time and space this year and saying, with everything else that's going on in the world, that Morrison matters, that the kids and families that we serve matter, that the staff who work here matter. We're not going to forget about that, not this year. And you made that choice. And so thank you very much.
The support from sponsors, donors, and community members really is incredibly inspiring. Thank you one and all for joining us. What a wonderful afternoon spent together. Thank you so much. Thank you to our generous donors and our sponsors for supporting Morrison Child and Family Services so generously. And if you'd like to become one of our Dream Team monthly donors, do it. I'm telling you, do it. It feels so good. Join the monthly donor program and make your recurring monthly gift. Here at Morrison, we call it the Dream Team, and we all want to be a part of that, don't we? So all donations go toward providing necessary support to vulnerable youth struggling with mental health and addiction. What a worthy investment. Thank you again for joining us today. I'm Misty Markham. I had a ball. I hope you did too. There are so many ways to engage with and support Morrison. Here's your opportunity to learn more. Have a great afternoon.